church use in the existing building with concurrent variances. The petition was heard at the May 21st and July 16th Planning Commission hearings. Planning Commission recommended approval subject to staff's conditions as presented. Following the Planning Commission hearing, staff of the Department of Community Development and the City Attorney's Office have met to further review the conditions proposed and have drafted a set of alternate conditions that are have been placed on your desk this evening for you to review. As such, staff is asking for a deferral back to the Planning Commission at the September 17th meeting and back to you on October 20th.
Mr. Galloway.
Madam Mayor, members of the City Council, my name is Woody Galloway with Dillon Galloway. I'm here representing the Church of Scientology in this request for rezoning and variances. In light of staff's recommendation for a deferral, I'm not going to go into a substantive discussion of the application tonight unless warranted based on the opposition. We did work with your staff and with the City Attorney's Office to develop a list of conditions that would address their major concerns, which were how many people would be located in the building. And so we've tried to do that. We formulated those conditions. They've been passed out to you. You have not had a lot of time to review those, and the Planning Commission has not reviewed those at all. And so we would agree to the deferral in order to go back to the Planning Commission for their consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Galloway.
I'd like to reserve the remainder of my time for a vote.
I understand. Is there anyone else that wishes to speak in behalf of the application? Did you want to come forward? Anyone who wishes to speak in behalf? Anyone who wishes to speak against?
I have a speaker card.
Oh, you have the speaker card.
I do, ma'am.
Go ahead and
The
call.
first speaker card is for Robin Beachy.
Are you that gentleman?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I'm Robin Beachy, 20 Willow Glen, Sandy Springs, representing the Willow Glen Homeowners Association, which is one of 12 civic and homeowners associations that have come together to object formally to this application. As you may have guessed, I won't be making the presentation we came here prepared to make this evening in the light of what has just been said. We have had even less time to see the new conditions. We haven't seen them at all yet, so it would clearly be inappropriate.
Either way.
Well,
Either way.
I just want to flag up very briefly the main points of the objection, not take up all your time in doing so. First, insufficient parking. We expect you to follow the ordinance and calculate parking requirements by reference to the aggregate of the mix of the uses. We ask you to take note of the fact that almost half of the 44,000 square feet in the application is assembly area and not offices. Traffic, been mentioned by almost every objector, every petition that you've received, every letter you've received, yet there's no traffic study been done. We're surprised at that, and there is no comment on traffic in the staff report, apart from in the heading of a paragraph which says traffic and parking analysis, and then goes on to deal with parking but doesn't deal with traffic. The condition of the property, the way in which it has been allowed to deteriorate in the 4 years since the applicant, almost 4 years since the applicant purchased it in 2005, just before you became a city. The risk of intensification of the use, once a church use is established there, if you were to give permission. The Church of Scientology has well-publicised ambitions to grow, and we would have told you some more about them had we been developing our case in full this evening. We do not believe that a conditional approval is the appropriate way to deal with this application, but that's a matter for another day. I'll close by saying I don't suppose you need to be reminded of why a very large majority of your constituents voted yes in the referendum in 2005. They voted for greater control over zoning decisions and better protection for neighbourhoods. That's all I wish to say this evening. We'll come back on another day to say more, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
The next speaker card I have is from Daniel Hubble.
I am Daniel Hubble of 5375 Roswell Road. I oppose the petition.
The next I have is from Jane Kelly.
Jane Kelly, I live at Windsor Park Place and am here representing the High Point Civic Association. The High Point Civic Association concurs with a deferral. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is Patty Burns.
Patty Burns, 5400 Roswell Road, Sandy Springs, Georgia. We agree with the deferral as well. Thank you.
Next is Brian Dogdrill.
Brian Dodrell with the attorney, attorney with the law firm of Robertson Dodrell. We're here on behalf of High Point and a number of named neighbors. We have no opposition to this being deferred and think it's appropriate. Thank you.
Next is Susan Yosak.